And then in 72, like all the young people in Israel, I joined the Israeli army. And I became first a soldier in the most elite unit of the IDF, the Israeli Defense Force. And then I became an officer. And then probably you know the history of Israel. We cross one war to the next, one war to the. So in 73, one of the most difficult situations around Israel, in the most holy days of the Jews, the Arabs countries around Israel open war. And just by paying of so many young Israeli, they lost their life. We succeed to push away Syrian and Egypt force. And since then, life moved on, and the terrorist attacks become regular. And in 76, I found myself in operation where terrorists, two German, the leaders, member of Badr Minor Group, and two Arabs, they hijacked Air France plane and took it over from Athens to Benghazi in Libya, and then to Entebbe, Uganda. And on Monday morning, the plane landed in Uganda, 3 a.m. in the morning. And the terrorists announced to the world and to the passengers, 248 passengers, what is their demands from French government and Israeli government. They asked to release 53 terrorists, many of them with very heavy blood on their hand. They asked $5 million to keep on the revolution, to pay the other terrorists. And they told the two governments and to the passengers, if they don't accept what they ask, on Thursday noon, they will start to kill the hostages, the passengers. Each hour, 2 passengers would be killed. And they will begin with the children who were on the plane. You can imagine the terrifying situation where the passengers felt themselves. They were 9 hours on a plane in Entebbe, very hot day, end of June, very close to Victoria Lake, a lot of mosquitoes. You know, on those days, it was a malaria mosquitoes as well. Very humid. Nobody gave them even water and something to eat. And from the beginning, from the first, the plane was on the ground. Other terrorists who wait to the plane to land in Entebbe arrive and surround the plane. And immediately, Ugandan force mix up with the terrorists and surround the plane. And then at 8 o'clock, the president of Uganda, Idi Amin, you know this man, arrived with a convoy car. And for the next 4 hours, he was on the ground, around the plane, talk with the terrorists, talk with his officer from the Ugandan army. Nobody woke up to ask the passengers what they want. Nobody told them what would happen. And then at noon, they asked to go out from the plane and they walk towards the old terminal. The old terminal was a big building which built by Israeli company sometime by the end of the 60s, when it was a good relation between Uganda and Israel. It's the first term of a very, very strong and good relation. Israel helped Uganda in many different areas, develop infrastructure in the country, develop hospitals, develop the agriculture system, the water system, and even the airport built by Israeli company. Idi Amin was the president of Uganda, and he was so welcome to visit Israel. And in many times he arrived to Israel, and Israel leaders arrived to Uganda. And then one day, I don't know why, probably you know better than me, he decided that he would like to transfer from being together with the West to transfer himself to be on the Russian side, support by Russia, by Libya, by all the countries who support Russia, who put their finger in Africa. And in 10 days, he told all the Israelis to leave his countries. And it took 10 days. No one Israeli was on the ground of Uganda. No one. It was in 72. And since then, he became a very critical leader in Africa who criticized Israel in all different aspects. I don't know why, after years of developing a good relation and help many African countries and many aspects of Uganda area, we find ourselves away from being contact in Uganda. And it took another 4 years. In one hand, the Arab terrorists and other terrorists in the world killed innocent people, killed Israeli Jews, killed sportsmen in the Olympic, which represents the most peaceful ideology in the world. 10 Israeli sportsmen killed in 72 by Arab terrorists. Why? And then, as I said, all the hostages, they asked to be in the big hall in the old terminal. 248 people in one big room, very dirty, a lot of dust, a lot of mosquitoes, no water, no toilet, no shower, no electricity, no air condition. After an hour, a technician arrived and tried to fix everything. But because it was unused building, very often it collapsed. And then after another hour or so, a truck arrived and threw into the room mattress, blanket, chair, sofa. Not enough for everyone. And then 2 teenagers arrive and they supply the hostages a basic need. 3 meals a day, okay food, hot drink, fresh water. They clean the shower and the toilet. And then it's the first day, people try to organize themselves to understand what's next, what will happen next. And then they went to sleep, and the next day, Tuesday morning, 2 or 3 Ugandan soldiers arrive and they smash a hole in the wall, and then the hostages look through the wall. What they see? Another small room on the other side. And then in the middle of the day, the 4 original terrorists arrive and put on the table all the passports that were collected from the passengers. And immediately, without saying any words, they tried to read the name from the passport. First, the Israeli name, and they told each one of the Israeli Jews to take his bag. They check the bag and to cross the other side of the room. And at the field with the Israeli Jews, they told the Jews from different parts of the world.